everyone. Are we here? Are we in? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, are we working? Are we up? Are we good?
No, I have to go back to sleep. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Medic and Rooster podcast. I'm going to turn down that. Okay. Right, guys, we have a very special guest on today. We have Valliebear on today. I'm going to do a quick introduction. First, we've got on my left-hand side, my right-hand side. My right or left? My left-hand side. My co-host Dan or Rooster. He's a good friend of mine. We've been gamers, and he's in a band called Neverhill as well. Check out Neverhill. And he also works as a turnip farmer. And then, of course, introduction here. We have a freelance graphic designer, a partner on Twitch for Summoner's War. We've only known each other a couple of weeks, but she is a lovely person, wonderful. She's blessed my stream, and she has blessed thousands and thousands of viewers. And it is the one and only Valliebear. Hello, how are you doing, Valley?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Did you say you were tired? Did you say you had a cranky night's sleep?
I did. I didn't sleep well, but that's fine. That's
the game of life, right? You just don't sleep well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, Valley,
Yeah.
why are we not sleeping well?
Because I'm always on any kind of game. Mostly Summoner's War, but you know.
Okay.
Well, yeah, of course. Okay, so today we're going to be asking Valley a couple of questions. We're going to get to know her a bit more. And I know I do. So I know there's a load of you out there that want to as well. So we're going to start with when you were younger, Valley. Now, we know you love Summoner's War now. I was in your stream. I think I was in your stream a couple days ago, and you said that you really love this game. Like Whale loved this game, right? But when you were a kid, what was the first games you were into, or consoles? Were you a Sega Mega Drive? What did you play?
Actually, in the beginning, my parents actually like to play video games too. They had a Sega, and I think it was mostly Sonic that I played in the beginning, but then it kind of evolved to having like my own Game Boy, which was obviously it was a Pokemon Red that I first played. Then it moved on to like the Nintendo 64, got the GameCube, and then just kept going up. Eventually, I stopped. Yeah.
Did you have the Game Boy Color, or were you like the first? The
first Game Boy, the very first.
The original,
Game Boy.
like the grey brick.
Basically. The brick.
Yeah,
the brick.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I got the color. Yeah. Then I got the color with like the whole backlight that you have to attach to it. Yeah. But then eventually I stopped. So like the last console that I technically had was the Xbox 360, and then from there I started to play like RuneScape on the computer and like a bunch of other PC games. So
you're a RuneScape player. Wow.
Yes.
That's real games right there.
I remember I was in school and this guy was like talking big. He said, "Yeah, I'll play RuneScape." I said, "You know what? You train, and I'm going to meet you in the Wildy tonight at 10 o'clock." And I got home after school and I was getting the runes, to do the powers. And what happened was we went out into the Wildy and my friend just teleported me out and left him there. So he died and all his stuff got taken. Anyway. Back when I was, super toxic. Yeah. So you said Xbox 360. Have you ever been tempted to go over to PlayStation, or have you been?
Oh my gosh, there's this whole like argument about that. They're like, oh, but like PlayStation has free internet or whatever and stuff. Like you don't have to pay per. Yeah, you don't have to pay per month. And I'm like, you know what? I already have a console. Like my brother plays on it too, so. It would just cost us more money to like buy another console, so we just stuck with 360. And like we liked Halo also, so that was pretty exclusive to that. So makes sense.
That's my jam right there.
Yeah, Dan used to be. Wait, did you used to be ranked in Halo?
Mate, I was a pro Halo player, bro.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I don't see any of those accolades anywhere. So in school, were you always sort of like the closet gamer, or did everyone know that you played games?
Okay, it's kind of hard. So like the beginning, maybe like up to when I was 12, for us was I was in elementary school. It's very normal that everyone somehow like played a game. But then when I reached high school, where everyone was more into like, there was more cliques, I guess. You have like the jocks, you have like the cheerleaders or like the introverts. All like you could tell who's who. Then is when I didn't mind telling people that like I played games. but
Okay.
maybe that's just me. I'm very open with playing games. Like for me, it's
Okay.
always been a passion. So I didn't see any like shame in like telling people.
Are you saying that because of what we said earlier about the shame that I felt?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's different for guys. I don't know.
Okay.
They don't know that though. They don't know that.
No,
Your
this is.
chat doesn't know that.
Well, let's. I just want to ask chat real quick. Is anyone like me? And when you were growing up, you were a closet gamer. Were you a closet gamer because you needed to simp? And could you simp when you were a gamer? Like, you know. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. There's a couple people out there, right? So you were very open at school. I saw you had you showed me a Pokemon cartridge, which is incredible.
Yes.
Did you collect the cards, or did you just play the games?
Oh gosh, I had the cards too.
And what was your most favorite monster? Like your shiny card that.
Oh, it was a Charizard. It's definitely Charizard.
Yeah,
You got a Charizard?
Yeah, shiny Charizard too.
Have you still got it?
No, it's at my parents' house actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
don't
shiny
ever
cash.
lose this.
There
Did
was
you,
some
Dan?
cash now actually.
Yeah.
So I had Pokemon cards, but like in Australia at the time, the issue they had with Pokemon cards was that like grade 7 kids who had them were like fooling grade 1 kids into like giving up. Like they'd be like, "Oh, I'll give you my Rattata for your Charizard," and it's
Wow,
really
that's
sick.
amazing,
And it's like
yeah.
really rare, and then like the little kids are like, "Oh, okay." And so like they had to shut it down pretty quick over there. It was pretty bad.
Wait, you saying you did that?
Oh, I'm not
Okay.
saying that I didn't get some good deals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta get those good deals.
Yeah.
Okay, so from school, going into sort of what you were going to do for the rest of the foreseeable future, like your career. How did you decide on that? Was there a point where you're like, I want to do this, or was it a gradual thing?
Like in terms of streaming, or in terms of
well, first of all, let's talk about graphics. Yeah. So
okay, yeah. So, that was actually a confusing time in my life. When I had the option to go to college, I actually studied psychology, which did not. I mean, like it was an amazing topic, and like I learned a lot of things about it, but it just wasn't for me. Like it didn't feel right.
Okay.
And I mean, so I asked my dad at the time. I'm like, I need help finding something that I could really learn and go into. And he's like, you know what? Let me just check. And he had a professor that taught him in school way back when, and his professor was still teaching at another college. So he spoke to that professor about trying to get me into his program, which is computer science. But unfortunately, I had to complete more math classes.
Okay.
So
Maths.
he's like, how about you go into a graphic design program? It's like a 3-year program. You do like it's like the creative side, I guess, as he worded it, which is kind of true, right? I mean, we learned, so it's not just graphic design that I learned, it was graphic and web design. So I learned like coding for like HTML5, CSS, JavaScript. So it's just kind of like a bundle of stuff that I learned. Yeah.
And you say that now you do you sort of do websites as well and things like that.
Yes. Yeah, I do
using
websites as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I know Dan. So Dan, guys, also does some graphic design. And where did you start on that path? What happened?
For me, it was because I picked up a job working for my dad, and they needed a designer.
Okay.
And my graphic design is more like, it's a bit boring, but it's more like on product design and like packaging and things like that. So I've worked with some big companies like, I don't know if people know Audi and John Lewis and Argos and people like that. Yeah, so that's who we work with. So I do product design, catalog. I've done some web stuff, and I tried coding for a bit. And it just like when it got to scripting, I was all out because like the math was just way over my head.
Too much. Yeah.
Not for you.
I just want to interject real fast. If anyone in chat has any questions, hold on to them for the last part of the stream, and you'll be able to ask Vallie anything you want to. Well, hold on, no, not anything.
Not anything.
Let's keep it 12A. All right, let's keep it 12A. Okay, cool. And then I do obviously a little bit myself, but these guys have been doing it a lot longer than me, and all that code stuff. That's the sort of thing that goes over my head as well. It's like just, takes me a long time to figure that out if I do try and do it. Also, is your favorite color pink? Is that why you got pink headphones?
I like blue, honestly. If they had this in blue, I would have taken it.
Is that why you've got your starry background on stream is blue?
Yeah, it's pretty much blue. Actually, if you didn't know, my hair used to be blue. All of it was blue.
Oh, really?
For the longest time. Yep.
Is that on Instagram? Could we see?
Yeah, you can see on Instagram. You can definitely see on Instagram.
This is a good point in saying.
Yep.
Underneath Valliebear's border here, we've got twitch.tv/Valliebear. If you guys want to go and give her a follow, and also her Instagram is under there too. So do check her out on Instagram and see her blue hair. I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you guys a real small secret, real quick. Did anyone watch American Idol here? You guys watch American Idol? Okay. Okay. Do you know the singer Adam Lambert?
Yes.
Okay. So Adam Lambert.
I'm not a huge fan.
No, I'm a huge fan. When I was
Matt loves musicals.
Okay, anyway. So let's not get into that. Don't give more fuel for chat. So when I used to watch Adam Lambert, I liked him a lot, and he used to have bluey black hair. So I went down to I went down to Boots, and I bought myself the color Starry Night. So between the ages of 11 and 21, my hair color was Starry Night. And then I thought, you know what?
God.
Yeah. And then I thought, I need to change it up. So then I got Cocoa.
What?
Do you have pictures of this?
Yeah, probably.
Wait, hold on.
I need to see
Wait, hold on. You dyed your hair?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't even know you dyed your hair ever.
Yeah,
I just thought that was your color of your hair, like a nice glistening moonlight.
I don't dye it now. And before the chat starts saying wig,
you was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Are you sure not doing different wigs?
That would be easier than the maintenance it took. Yeah. So no, I don't dye it now. But I'm talking about when I was younger. You know, because I'm 23 now, as chat knows. Like a year or two ago, I used to dye my hair. So anyway, and then but then I got happy with who I was, and then anyway, we've got the dark hair now. But that's good to know. That used to be. Did you ever think about going blonde? Because I thought about doing who did it? Zac Efron. You know, he dyed his hair blonde.
Oh my gosh.
When did he dye his hair blonde?
I think he did.
He's had blonde hair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not that I
That
followed.
was dramatic.
I went for the do you remember like the band Linkin Park? Was anyone a fan of Linkin Park?
Of course.
Like, do you remember like
don't know. Wow.
You know when like like when I was in high school and they all had the spiked up hair and they had like they either had like blonde tips,
the frosted tips. Oh my gosh.
So I actually had like frosted tips, but I did blonde at one point, and then I did blue and I did red at one point as well, just on the tips.
Did you guys? Okay. Did you guys ever curl the end of your hair, like do a little quiff at the end?
No.
No.
I think it's just you.
Definitely just you, man.
So I used to use straighteners. I'm just going to say that because I feel like it's going to come out eventually. And and I used to just twist the end of the... No one else did that? Okay.
Apparently not. No, I don't know
not.
what you're even talking about.
Okay, yeah, me neither. Anyway, we should move on real fast before Matt starts digging a deeper hole.
You're already getting roasted in the chat. It's fine.
Yeah, I can see like the roasted chat. Okay, so graphic design. Back to graphic design. So, what sort of things have you done in terms of? I know you're doing some websites, but have you done any? I know you said you did some emotes and things like that. Anything else? Sort of.
I did a lot of. It was purely just website design in the beginning, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna become like a web designer. I don't want to be a graphic designer anymore. And then I got into packaging. I did a lot of rebranding for some companies. Yeah.
Don't know what that means.
I did a couple of emotes now, not as much. I'm actually like currently stuck in artist block. I can't get out of it right now, so I don't know. That's it. That's just about it.
Is there anything?
I feel like I feel like every designer at some point hits the I want to be a web designer.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's always like you go. I'm gonna do graphic design. At first, you're gonna do like photography at some point. Then you're gonna do like you're going to do design for people's profiles, and you've got this great idea, and then you're like, do you know what? I need to do just graphic design on web. I need to do web
Yeah.
design. And then as soon as it gets hard, you're like, I'm out. And then it ends up in packaging. That's
Yeah.
right.
Then I'm like, yeah, exactly. I went to packaging in the end. I'm like, this is so much easier, honestly.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And in the future, is there anything you want to particularly sort of work into? Yeah.
I'm pretty open to anything, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is this Matt asking for some work? It's like, yeah,
No, not at all. Okay, so let's move on to Summoner's War. I know lots of people in chat are Summoner's War players, of course. That's not where they know us from. And we'll talk about streaming as well. So let's start with streaming, actually. What made you decide to turn on the camera? I know you say you're an introvert, you get nervous, and that's it. That's really endearing. But what made you turn on the camera and think, you know what, I can entertain people, I can bring value to people? What was the beginning of that?
Oh gosh. Let's just start with the beginning because I was at work, okay? It's pretty much a 9-hour job every day. And I was really bored, okay? There's only so much production I could do. Okay, it's very like my job was very monotonous. It was just copy paste information into like templates. So usually I had YouTube videos open and I would watch or listen to music, or I would listen to like audiobooks and stuff like that. But then in the end, I was getting really bored. I'm like, I'm not getting any kind of interaction right now. And I don't want to go on Facebook because I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. So I ended up, I was like, what can I do or what can I watch that will entertain me? And at the time, you know, I've been playing Summer's War for like almost 5 years. And I'm like, how about I watch some streams?
Okay.
And then I opened up Twitch and I ended up watching some Summer's War streamers, and I had a lot of fun because I met like a good handful of people. I actually found a lot of streamers that like I like talking to, kind of, it felt like face to face pretty much.
Yeah.
So in the end, I was like, you know what? I think I want to stream because of that. Purely because I wanted to talk to people. Despite the fact that, yes, I am very introverted. I know some people don't believe me, but it's much easier to talk on the screen than face to face. And I'm sure many people can relate to that. Yeah. Because if I were to meet you, any of you guys face to face, I would be hiding, okay? I would be hiding. I'd be like this the entire time, and like I'd be like, okay, yeah, haha. Like I'm really cringy, okay? But that's how I got into streaming. I just wanted to talk to people, and then in the end, I felt like I can have a lot of progression done on my account itself, and that's what I want to show people, that I wanted to, like, I can progress.
Yeah,
and that's what I do. So
I think there's something as well. You talk about being an introvert, but on camera, you're able to you know, sort of be bigger than you would be. I think there's something endearing though about being an introvert and doing that though, because it's relatable. That side is relatable too. I know gamers, we like to stay in our hovels or in our basements, and and just you know, and play games and stuff, and we gonna get nervous going out or whatever. But it's nice to see another face who's the same as us, but is also there to interact and talk with us and entertain us. And to be honest, that's exactly the same reason why I sort of started to do it too. I love games. I like hanging out, having fun with people, and it's just a marriage of all of that. And so, Dan, I know you've done a spot of streaming before, but from a viewer perspective, what's streaming like to you? Like, be a voice of the people. What makes you like to watch streaming?
You are the people.
Yeah, because you guys are talking about being introverts, it's so interesting because I feel like gamers are probably like a more percentage towards introverts. I feel like, because I always feel like introverts are they're more like creative, and they like fantasy. They like kind of escaping the world, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about streaming is you can come in there and be in a chat and a community with people who are exactly like you, and watching you guys and seeing how awkward you are, Matt, with girls, and how like the little things that you do, right? It's just relatable, and I think that's why people like it. And it's just I think that's what people like about streaming, is they can come in and have a community that shares the same interests as them.
Guys, you should see me. You should see me in a nightclub. Like,
oh gosh. I don't
I've
know if
got
I
the.
want to.
I do my dance moves are the big fish, little fish, cardboard box, big fish, and then I'm like,
What, you don't do the?
nah.
He whips up the.
It's have you ever seen the film Hitch? You know when he's teaching him to dance, and he's like, you got to keep everything in, just click the fingers and move the shoulders. That's how I get them, like that. Anyway, moving on. What do you mean?
Don't even get me started on you in nightclubs, man.
Let's not tell
Don't
those
even
stories.
get me started, bro.
Anyway.
All right, we're going clubbing.
TwitchCon. This isn't about me. So, oh, it's getting hot in here all of a sudden. So, talking about streaming still, if there's anyone in chat, I know there's a couple of people that come into my chat and maybe they're new to streaming or they're just starting out. And to be honest, it's such a massive saturated pool of streamers. You yourself, who have been so successful so quickly, is there any sort of little tidbits of how they can start on their journey? Like what are the things that you see maybe in other streams or what you try to focus on in yours to make it, what it is today?
Okay, well, tied at number one, being interactive with your chat is probably like the best tip I can give you.
Right.
Even if you're someone that doesn't talk much or is very awkward, or I know there's a lot of people who actually stream in their second language.
Mhm.
They may not be as comfortable, but like having that little, even if you like greet someone and even try to push like a little conversation, that goes like a long way, because that one viewer can always come back all the time, and then
Yeah.
they'll bring in friends, or like
Mhm.
just having a constant flow in that stream, like when you're first beginning, is probably the best thing. And tied with that is to have a nice looking stream, because
Okay.
there are some streams where they just look very scuffed. They're just kind of like placed and it's just there. It's all about marketing, really. People will visit a stream that will catch their eye.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the best advice I can give you. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I fell upon Matt's stream, honestly, because like, I mean, I kept coming back purely because sorry, you might hear a train, but like I actually went to his stream because like he was very interactive with his chat. He seemed to know every single viewer that came in. He tried to push some people to talk, and they ended up talking, and then I see that they always come back, and I think it's great. And I think it's more than just having like amazing content on your stream. It's also coming back for that streamer.
The community.
And it's a community, and that's how I see streams. It's like each stream is not for everyone. It's kind of like TV, right? You don't just you can't just watch one channel and be happy with it. So
Yeah.
you gotta find your favorite channel. You gotta go back to it all the time. And
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's very kind of you. But I think
You're
you're right with the thing of community, and I think that's what you do so incredibly well, is create this community, and that's why I watch streams. I watch people like don't laugh at, okay chat, just calm down a second. Just calm down. Just calm down 1 sec. I watch people like Towley, Asmongold. Okay, calm down. Like Slew. Okay, calm down.
Drink.
Right. Yeah. So, but they're all like they're very community, entertaining the stream, having fun. We can meme on them, but they're one of those things, Anyway, yeah, calm down. Chat.
And they're genuine. That's what they are. Yeah.
And even if they are scuffed, like Asmongold, right? He's just himself. So that's a good thing. Okay, so let's talk about Summoner's War. What we play, what we love. I want to know, what was the day for both of you? Let's start with Valley. What was the day that you clicked on install? Who told you about it? How did you get into it? Did you research before? What happened?
I never knew about this game.
Okay.
My boyfriend at the time, who's actually my husband now, he had this tendency to download every single game that popped up like in an advertisement or like in the store, and he would play it for maybe like a week or two, then dump it and play the next game. So that week he was like, hey babe, like I found a game called Summoner's War, and he showed it to me, and I was like, that looks like the stupidest game ever. Why would I ever play this game?
Yeah.
So I played it, obviously. And then
you played RuneScape,
yeah.
so
Okay, true. Okay, look, I played RuneScape for like 13 years. Okay, so playing Summers War, I opened it up, and I was like, okay, cool. Oh, what's this? A lightning? That's really cool. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
got a 4-star monster,
Mhm.
and then I used it everywhere, and I was hooked. I was actually hooked.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you, so after being hooked, when was the time that you started to whale? What was the decision that I want to be super high rated in this game? Like, when did you move into that sort of realm? Because I think for new players who have just come into the
No.
game, yeah, what was the turning point?
I'm a big spender.
Is that what a
Before,
whale is?
yes,
By the way?
well, I'm technically a dolphin. There's like a whole like spectrum of like
Oh
having
my
like a
goodness.
whale. There's goldfish, there's dolphin, there's whale.
Okay.
I'm technically a dolphin.
Okay.
I spend a lot on this game, but maybe second week of the game I start to spend. And just
Second
a
week.
tip before, yes. So before I was playing Summer's War, I was playing Clash of Clans, and I was
Okay.
already starting to whale on that game. So
Okay.
I started to get tired of Clash of Clans purely because I felt stuck all the time. There's a lot of time and like money that you have to put into that game. So I
Okay.
quit it, and then I just had to go to Summer's War,
Right.
and that's where
So
I started to spend more.
So would Matt, because he doesn't spend any money,
Mhm.
does he technically class as like
He's
something
nothing.
like
I think
sea
someone-
life,
He's dust.
Someone,
like
someone in,
a bit of
someone in chat
seaweed
said,
in the ocean?
someone in chat said goldfish.
Goldfish.
A goldfish is like when you
Did-
spend on a special pack or like the 6-year
Okay.
anniversary pack or
Matt,
something. Okay,
Matt,
that's a
Matt, you're
goldfish.
seaweed, bro. You're seaweed. You're
Yeah,
nothing in the
no,
ocean.
you're maybe
You're the
like
salt in the
you're a
water, bro. You don't spend a
crustacean.
penny. Crustacean. No, because crustacean's at least something. He's sea lice. He's just invisible.
Sea lice.
Sea lice, bro. And do
Like,
you know what the thing about sea
sea
lice is? They're irritating, and they're sharp and spiky like you.
So he's sharp.
Matt
Okay.
is sharp, isn't
Can
he?
you-
He's like
Hmm.
annoying flute songs all the time.
Can you?
Yes, that was amazing.
Can you guys? I'm curious. What is the starting with crustacean? How does it go with like spending? When do you become a goldfish and then like I don't know, a shark
lice.
and then a sea lice? Yeah. What's the progression to a whale?
A whale is like
It's like eight. Isn't it something like $8,000 a week you can spend?
I have no idea. I see. I'm not a whale, so I wouldn't know that. So
Okay.
whale
lot
is
of
like
money, though.
beyond anything we can imagine. It's a lot of money put into the game.
Whaling.
£8,000 a week on a game.
Yeah, I think they capped it. Yeah,
No
I think they
judgment.
capped it or
That's
something.
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Like that's a deposit for a home almost in the UK.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you, Dan? What got you into Summoner's War? It was me, right?
So listen, I try to avoid this game at all costs because Matt always has this thing with our friends where he will send games and be like, "Yo guys, let's play this game." And mobile games are just they drive me insane because I always feel like my mobile's always dead, like it's always dying with battery. Every time I look at it, it's at
Agreed.
10%. I could charge it all night and look at it and it's at 10%. Like that's just how I feel.
iPhone.
And so I dodged Summoner's War for a while because I was like, it's just Matt being Matt and sending us a game that I probably won't like anyway. And then anyway, I started watching him on. I started watching him on stream. Actually, I did the tutorial, and then I was like, it's like Pokemon. I loved Pokemon, but it's just like it's like a tryhard, right? But then I watched Matt on stream, and then I started seeing the community talking, and then I realized that I understood nothing about what anyone was saying. People were like, oh, DB10, GB10, Lapis, all these names, right? And I was like, I have no idea what anyone's saying. And then I was like, out of spite, I'm gonna learn the game against
Okay.
Matt, so I can go into chat and understand what
Right.
people
Out
are
of
saying,
sight.
and
Out of
hopefully make
sight.
backhanded comments. Like
He did
But so anyway,
backhanded comments.
I started playing it, and yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm playing it a lot now.
Exactly.
The one thing Matt hates though about me playing is I don't know if you have this value, but I'm an organized mess kind of guy. So my desk at work is it's pure mess, but I know where everything is.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
know
like that.
Matt loves a clean box. That's all he raves about, a clean box. And so whenever he comes on and and helps me, he cries every time because I've got like slime for days. Like
Ew.
I
Okay.
hoard
not
everything,
nasty. What
but
the
it's
hell?
organized. I know what slime I want to use and when, and so that's how I like to play the game.
Look,
So.
a clean box is a clean mind. All right, you can hashtag
No,
that
but
somewhere.
no, 'cause that's
Okay,
what I
I
have to
agree.
do. That's my mind. It's my mind, bro. I got this.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
At this
that's
point,
how
I
I
want to
can-
say real quick, if people have got questions in chat for Valley, start firing them away. Dan's going to start writing them down, ready for the question time. All right. Before we get into that, Valley, I wanted to ask you about some family stuff now.
Sure.
You say that you your husband now you met. Did you say meeting playing League of Legends?
Yeah. So
So tell me
I
about
tell this
how that happened. Yeah.
yeah, I tell this all the time to people, and I'm like, I first met my husband on League of Legends, and now no one believes me. But the whole thing was that he was like a friend of a friend of a friend from
Right.
my school, from my college. Sorry. So I had no like, I would never have met him if it was never for League, and I
Okay.
guess one of my friends. And at that time, actually, so my friend introduced me to Julian, okay, who is my husband.
Okay.
My friend really liked me. He really liked me.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then
Okay.
We got a
Julian
triangle.
comes
We got a
in.
triangle.
Yeah, then Julian comes in, sweeps me off my feet, and we start dating. So you can only imagine what happened. But
Are you? I guess you're not friends with.
no, we're
Ben?
very good friends. We're very good friends. He came to my wedding and everything too.
Oh
That's a
man,
good man.
it's
That's a good man right there. That's a
He's
good
one
man
of my
right
best
there.
friends. He's one of my best friends.
That's a good man. Yeah, but you
And
know
we're
he's
very good friends too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was
that's a
like a
good-
crush
good-
thing. It was like he admired me. He really liked hanging out with me and stuff. But he already told me that he didn't want a relationship because I liked him too at the time. But then it was really confusing.
wow.
That's
This is like
that's like that's like a Matt, but to me, like when I got married, Matt was on the wings, like
oh,
just
you should
watching
have
me
seen
getting
me.
married. Really
You should have
sad.
seen me at Dan's wedding. I honestly was dripping tears, like in the aisle. Also,
He was okay. I promise. I
Yeah.
promise.
this it's like your. This is the plot of Twilight, right here.
Gosh, yeah, the
But-
vampire and the
But wait,
werewolf.
wait. So what am I then? I'm the vampire, and you're Jacob. No, I'm Kristen Stewart then.
Yeah.
You're Jacob,
Yeah,
and Haley's my wife's Patrick.
that's
Patrick,
right.
is that his name?
No idea.
I'm so
What was his
lost.
name?
I don't
I've
even
been
know.
watching ages.
I don't
haven't
even
seen it.
know.
But I loved them when I watched them. I don't know why. I can't rate the acting in it,
Of
but
course.
you know.
Of course, we liked people. There's gonna be people in chat that are gonna be like, "Oh, I hate what Twilight is. I hate Twilight. I hate all those things." You all watched it. I know you all watched it. I know you went to the cinema, the midnight opening, and
I watched it.
yeah, I went to. Okay, so I went to the midnight opening of the last Twilight. Okay, and okay, I went to the midnight opening, and it was great. Okay, there's a bit at the end where they all die. Okay, all of like the main characters die.
Wow,
And
spoiler. Hello.
You've all seen it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, look, it's been years
Yeah,
since the movie
go
came
on.
out, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You can spoil that.
You've all seen it. So everyone dies, and the whole cinema was like, no. Everyone was on their feet, like yelling and screaming. And then we all realized it was actually just in someone's mind, like it didn't
Yes.
really happen, and it goes back in time, and everyone
I
just
hate
gave
that.
like everyone
Okay.
went crazy.
Okay,
though.
okay. The first two movies, honestly, from the whole like series or whatever,
Saga? Was it Saga?
Saga,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
sucked. But towards the end, it was actually really good. I really liked it.
I
I
didn't
like
like fake. Okay, there's two things that drove me insane about that film. Besides all the bad acting, there's a few scenes that really wind me up. The first one is in the first film when she first walks in for the first time ever to the class, and Edward, that's his name, Edward, not Patrick.
Yeah.
Edward,
Spoil-
like, Edward sees her and he does that face where he's just
He's like,
he's like
Yeah, he's
struggling
super-
to like
he's
hold
like
his
super-
urges.
Chat
It's
is
just
going.
horrific.
Chat's going crazy with the spoilers. Let's stop talking about Twilight. Okay,
That's-
well, I mean, yeah, but I get it. You guys have got to watch it though.
Yeah.
You guys got to watch it. Okay, cool. So
We're done.
you met him through League of Legends. All is well. Can I ask for everyone in chat who is looking for a partner through
oh
gaming,
gosh.
and I'm not just asking this for me. Everyone who's looking for a partner in gaming, what was it that how did you cross that barrier of playing League and then sort of going on like a date? Like, what was it?
This is open to chat right now, isn't it? I'm guessing.
I mean, chat
yeah,
can ask. Yeah. We'll open up chat now. Yeah, ask questions. Yeah. But yeah, what was?
I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. It was weird.
Oh my goodness!
It was really
I think we need to get your husband on to give us a quick 101 of how to get this done.
Oh, I made him go to sleep so he won't come. I was kidding. He went to take a nap because he was working.
Is it in the middle of the day? Yes.
It's 3:36 p.m.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, look. In my experience, they're never gamers. They're just never gamers.
No, they say they're gamers,
Yeah.
and then they go, "Yeah, I play game. I love games." And then they get on there, and they're like, "What's this?" And you're like, "It's a game." They're like, "Oh, I thought you meant like Mario Kart." And
Yeah.
that's it. That's all they've ever played in their whole life was Mario Kart when they were like 6. With
I wouldn't have
like,
dated
their
them
family.
then.
But
Well,
they're
Mario
gamers.
Kart.
They class themselves as gamers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing a game and let's say you play it a lot, then are they considered a gamer? Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about like when they play it once
Oh,
when they're
like-
6. That doesn't count.
Okay, yeah, true.
I know
True.
people who play that the candy thing, the Candy Crush, the Candy Island, whatever it's called. They're not gamers.
The candy thing.
They're not gamers. There's no way.
What if they're competitive Candy Crush players?
No, they're
Can-
gamers. You got to class them as gamers because this is
It's a
interesting,
game,
right?
right?
My mum is like the classic mum, like get off your game, go outside kind of thing, right?
That's my mom
Okay.
too.
But then she plays games on her computer on Facebook, like the Facebook games,
Ooh.
24/7. And she even to a point where this was back when I was living at home. She would play this game. It was like a seal would have like a little ball, and it'd throw it up, and it would like dissolve. It was a bit like Candy Crush style vibe, right?
Mhm.
And anyway, one day she's like, "Oh, I'm doing pretty well at this game," and she was #1 ranked in the world at this game. And she's having to go at me, being like, "Oh, get off games, go outside."
Yeah, exactly.
Drives me
Also, who goes outside like in 2020 as a gamer? Like no one, right?
I mean, no one's going outside right now, but yeah.
Yeah,
So,
true. Yeah.
So Dan just chime in with some questions. I've seen one in chat from Vane.
Yeah.
So Matt, what's your move? So if you're talking about me moving in on gamer girls, non-existent. That's my move. It just doesn't happen. There's none.
Okay, I have a question for you
There's
though.
none
Would
girls,
you
none girls.
actually go for a gamer girl or someone or a girl that does play games, or would you try to avoid that?
So there was a week about 3 months ago. I took a week out of life and I sat down and I meditated on this question, and and I came to the conclusion that if they're not gamers, if they're not gamers, right, but they understand that you like gaming, then it could be fine. But then imagine when I'm raiding in WoW, and my girlfriend's like, "Hey, do you have a flask? Because I'm missing one." Like that connection just there. That's priceless. But then obviously there's the day that you come in from a long day at work. They're playing World of Warcraft. They're playing League of Legends. They're playing Summoner's War, and you're like, "Hey, let's go down to Funky Town," and they're like, "I'm raiding tonight. Can't help you." And then it's like,
Well, that's what they get from you. That's what they get from you. I'm streaming. I'm raiding.
I
can relate.
Never turned down Funky
Yeah,
Town.
yeah.
You never turned down the Funky Town train. When that train's going, you're on time.
Yeah. So you're telling Valley, you're saying that the Funky Town train missed the station because you were gaming?
Yes. One too many times.
That's every night.
It'll mostly just be like, "Oh, I'm currently doing something really competitive, so I can't tend to you right now." And then, yeah.
I also don't feel like
Wait, you used the word
I
tend.
can't tend to you right
Can't
now.
tend to you.
Okay, no, I don't say tend.
He's not a rabbit. You don't tend to the rabbit.
God.
I'll tend to my husband now. Sorry, guys.
To be honest though, if my wife was like, "It's time to tend to you," I'd probably be like, "Yep, okay." Oh
I don't
yeah.
mean that.
Yeah. All right. It's
Babe,
like
I
watering
love
the
you.
watering the plants. All right. So Have we got any, Dan? Have we got any questions that you pulled? Have you seen any?
Yeah. So we got one earlier. Escala 9000 asked, "What kind of tattoo do you have on your arm, Valliebear?"
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
It's it's like a skull and has like fish on it. Hold up. Let me see if I can like bring it up.
Does it mean anything? Like, has it got
Nope.
got a meaning behind it?
Nope.
Nope. Just really cool.
My whole plan was that I wanted to get a half sleeve of like a dark underwater theme on my left arm, and then on my right arm I would get like a galaxy slash like spatial themed. Like right now I have something I've always wanted, a moon, so I've got that on my right arm. But I'll finish this up like next year or something.
Have you got
But
is it the classic, like, you've done one tattoo and thought, I'm going to get a full sleeve, and then it's always like, I can't be bothered to spend the money to get the rest of it?
no, I mean I even
It's a
so
big thing.
my first tattoo was a flower piece on my back, which took
Yeah.
about 4 hours, and that was my first experience ever. Then I got my Chinese last name on my shoulder blade here. That I just
Ooh,
kind of
cool.
kept growing. I'm like, more. I want more. I want more. So
I'm
I'll
like
save
that.
up.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got the same. I've got a half sleeve on this arm, and then I've got like
Ooh.
my forearm done. But then I've got my sister lives in Japan, and
Mhm.
she's like married. I've got Japanese niece and nephew now, and so I kind of wanted to do something for them, like the
Aw.
Japanese style kind of
Mhm.
tattoo. But then I wanted some
Oh.
Japanese writing. But then I was also super scared because I'm like, I don't trust a British person doing Japanese writing,
Yeah.
and I think it says Daniel, and then it says like tomato sauce or something like that. Like
Oh my
I just don't
gosh.
trust them. But that'd be bad.
I've seen something else in chat. Matt, how are you so productive? I'm not.
He's not at all. Do you know how how do you know he's productive? Because I call him up and tell him to do something.
See, that's
Yeah.
very productive, isn't it?
That's how you know Matt's getting on it.
Where's the celery? I forgot to buy celery from the shop, guys. I've just got hummus. Dan, any more questions for Valley?
Yeah, Valley. What kind of coding do you know? And is it just website? You're not just website designer, right? You do other things as well.
Yeah. So to clarify, I am a website and graphic designer. So it's mostly on the creative side. It's just that I know like the basic coding of like HTML5, some CSS, and I do a bit of JavaScript as well. So I
Also-
can code. It just won't be like as amazing as you'd expect from like higher end websites, because that's more
Yeah.
back end job, and I do front end, as you could say.
Yeah,
Like
I know what
in
you mean. I
C.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like I can't do
Yeah.
I can't build the site, but I can
Mhm.
design the site once it's been built.
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
code, yeah.
Exactly.
Here's a question. Go on, Matt.
Yeah, go
I'll
for
keep
it. Go for it.
Dark Slayer wanted to know, Valley, a very important question. How many Lucians do you have?
I have a lot.
Okay.
Do you want to count them? I'll count them right now. Okay, I'll open up my game.
How
Don't
many?
you worry. I'll get you.
How many? How many?
I'm not sure yet. I fed a whole bunch of them into my Lucians, and I have 3 built Lucians right now.
Okay.
And they're all
So
max
Mug-
skilled from all the Lucians. So how many
Let's-
skill ups is that? I don't know.
How many skill ups does
Mugger.
Lucian need?
I have no idea.
Can we get some lists in chat? Right. Okay.
We need
So
to know how
Valley,
many.
you've got
I
5
have-
Lucians, right?
I have 3 builds, but they're
Okay,
all
3.
fully skilled up with
Yeah.
Lucians.
I think
Well,
it's
okay,
about-
with a mixture of like the water
Okay.
Joker and the
I'm
fire
going to times
Joker,
that, but I'm going to do 3 times 12 for that one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, 12, 24, 36. Okay, cool. Thank you, Valley.
You're
Good question.
You're
You're
hard
very
listed.
welcome.
Hard listed.
10
next
skill ups
question.
per Lucian. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Next
5,
question
6,
for you.
8 Lucians, by the way. 8.
8. Oh my gosh.
8 plus.
Mm.
He hates
Okay.
me.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I
He
have
does hate
15
brothers.
Skogles, if that counts.
15 who?
Skogles. The
I
wind.
mean, yeah, the
Someone
yeah.
did actually ask that. Matt's like, yeah, I don't care.
No. The thing that so I was on Valley's stream. By the way,
Yes.
go follow Valley's stream. Link underneath the camera. You were saying about Bastets, and you were like,
Yes.
which Bastet shall I use? Which one shall I get out of storage? Yeah, I was listening. And your
I
name
had
has
5
been...
best bets, okay.
Hey, anyway, while Matt's finished crying, SHD Whacker Is that how you pronounce your name? Shtawaka.
Waka.
Can you ask Valley if she can make my guild logos?
Oh,
Are you open? Are you open for
yeah,
business for
Yeah.
streamers or gamers?
yeah, definitely.
Do you have
I'm
a
still trying to
contact?
come out. Yeah, they can all find me on Discord.
Okay.
They're usually on my Discord, so I'm not sure, but you can just
Okay.
PM me also on Twitch.
Perfect. And all that is.
Yo.
Can you ask? Yeah, go for it.
We've got someone who wants you to check out their website. It's a project for them. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna send her to that link just in case it's not safe.
Mhm.
But you could contact her personally if you wanted to check out something. I'm sure she could help. I'm assuming. I'll just be your manager now. I'm just like, yeah, you got a
Guys,
client
guys,
now. You got some business.
commissions, just you
Yeah,
can
I'll
PM
take
me
10%.
privately, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I've got another question for you, Valley. Now, you did say to me that you didn't really have anything to say on it, so I think we can all chime in. The future of Summoner's War.
Oh God.
Now, personally, I don't want to be hitting my phone every 40 seconds to do GB10. Is anyone else with me? Maybe
I'm okay with that.
you're okay with doing that?
I'm assuming you're talking about like auto brands and stuff like that.
Even 5.
I think it would just kill the game. Because okay, you have to understand that yes, I understand that people have lives and stuff and they want to like farm during the game and whatever, but
Yeah.
the whole point of having a game is that so you're somewhat interactive with it. If you're there even less time than what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be, I don't know, it's just gonna be a dead game.
I see what you're meaning. So, like, if I'm healing in WoW, because we all know I play a priest, what, and I take my hand off the keyboard, right, and the mouse, someone dies. It's the same thing, right? Except no one's gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, your team should be fine, but
I'll be losing energy. I think essentially, if I don't press play. Okay. To do with this is like, I know you probably might not be able to answer this, but PvP, violent runes.
it's annoying, but it's fine how it is, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, RNG is always gonna somehow make you tilt at the game, but what can you do? They actually did fix it up. They fixed up the rates of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I heard about that. Also, would she consider being a megalodon? What does that mean?
oh god. Probably bigger than a whale, I guess, right?
And
On the
how
back
much,
of that,
yeah, and how much would a person have to spend to be considered that? Do we think?
Gosh, I have no idea. I don't even know how much you're supposed to be spending for a whale. A
Isn't
whale
it-
is already, I'm sure, like hundreds of grand.
Isn't it
in
Tree
the game.
or someone like that who's a big whale, like a big whale?
I have no idea about Tree, but there are some like noticeable people around the Twitch community, especially that are big whales.
Is this a bad
you've heard
thing?
of it.
What, to be a
No, it's not a
whale?
bad thing.
No,
No,
it's
definitely
rare.
not. But
Is the-
just pay it, like keep in mind that with them knowing their names and everything, they do really receive a lot of flack for it.
Okay, I did the
Because
same thing.
they're like,
Yep.
yeah, they're like, oh, like maybe because you spent so much money that like you're just you're try harding at the game, or you're spending money where it's not supposed to be. You know, it's just different opinions from people.
What I would say is, what I would say is on that is that these guys as well, who are like top of the top, not only is it monsters though, they are very, very clever in how they rune their stuff, the decisions they make. They sometimes start metas because of the way they play the game. They're very, very smart about the game, and that's why they're there. And I think we need to remember that as well. It's not just, you have to,
everything plays into each other.
Yeah. You also have to be.
Some people might not be as smart in some areas, or like some people might, it's different for everyone, really. And everyone has different play styles too. So they might criticize one person's play style when it could be working really well, or you can't really, I don't know.
Exactly.
I just kind of let them do their own thing. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I'm just saying oblivious to that side.
That's what you say when you like definitely disagree. That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Decision.
I don't care. But that's cool.
How much does Matt spend on celery and hummus? More than an SW whale? Guys, hummus is 40p. And hummus, celery is 40p, and hummus is like £1. So no. All
That's
right.
pretty cheap.
Yeah,
That's
how
all
I.
Matt's food shopping each week anyway.
That's all I can spend on food shopping. Yeah. Danny, have you seen anything else? Let me see. Any more questions before we wrap up here?
Any more?
Okay.
Anything towards Ali? No.
I would like to know before we close up here, Valley. So, the future of the stream. I know you were talking about going more full time. What's that mean? Upcoming? What changes are you going to make? And also, just a shout out to where people can find you as well.
Okay, well, first off, people can find me on Twitch. They can find me on my Discord as well. They can find me on Instagram. I'll put some links later. I mean, there's some below as well, right? So, but in terms of full-time streaming, because currently I'm streaming about 3 times a week, depending how I'm feeling. Because of quarantine, I've been feeling really, really I'm just more of a potato. So, but once it become full-time streaming, once my husband actually starts to go back to full-time work and everything, I'll be increasing the hours of my stream time. I'll be adding in other games that I'll be streaming as well. This will probably fluctuate between Summer's War, League of Legends, and I'm hoping to introduce another game in as well. But I think I'm gonna be changing mostly. It's just the time, because currently I stream at 8 p.m. EST, which is an awful time for a lot of people in like Europe and Asia too, especially if they don't like wake up early enough. So it's mainly catered for North America time, I guess. And then I have one time zone right now on Sundays, which is a good time for like everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is 9 a.m. on a Sunday. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We actually we got a few more questions coming through if you want to quick fire them.
Okay, we've got about 8 minutes here. Yeah.
Good time. Okay, so let's go from the top. We have got SW Boo Boo. Boo Boo. Wants to know, does Valley think Bellanus is good?
Yes,
is
definitely.
It Bellanus or Bellanus?
It's Bellanus.
Well,
I feel like I pronounce it like Matt. I've been listening to Matt pronounce it too much, and I'm like Bell-anus.
or you could say Belly-anus.
Belly-anus, yeah, Belly-anus, definitely.
So Bellanus good?
Yeah, very good. Cool. Thank you for asking that question. I really appreciate it.
Rune wants to know if they would make an RTA with players getting the same monster boxes and the same runed units, which is actually an interesting question because I threw this out to Matt about the whole the what's it called, pay to win kind of aspect on competitive. How I kind of disagreed with pay to win because when it comes to competitive, all of a sudden it's not competitive anymore because you can spend more money than the other person. Do you think it would be cool if they made a arena type thing where everyone got the same runes, the same units, and it's all about skill and your knowledge?
That's actually a really interesting aspect. Like if you were to picture, let's say Special League, because Special League already introduces like a 4-star tournament, or they have like a 20-star max league as well. If they introduce some sort of like free-for-all box that are already 6-star with everything awakened, it would be really cool, but you would see the same monsters over and over again, and that's the bad side. That's the downside to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see probably just like 3 monsters, like literally all 5 monsters that you'll be choosing on both sides will be ones that you see every single draft. So, I mean, in that sense, yes, you could try to build counters for that, and it's kind of like more strategy, but it just feels too open. There are too many things that can't go wrong.
Yeah, it almost becomes like a League of Legends where you get the meta of what you use and everyone picks the same things.
Exactly.
Okay, Vince. Actually, sorry. Go on, Matt. I'll let you speak.
No, you're fine, dude. I just want to one question here. I think maybe to finish this off because it's a nice question. What does Valley remember the most on her stream? What has been her favorite moment since starting streaming? And that's from Ellie.
Oh my gosh. There are way too many memories. One of them that really did stand out was when I actually pulled out my guitar for stream. And that was kind of something. So I mean, I'm very shy. So having to play guitar and sing on stream in general was really, really just taking a lot out of me.
Okay.
And I was shaking, like I couldn't breathe, and like I just pulled through it and I did it. And I received so much, I don't know, like I wouldn't even say admiration, but I don't know, people just kind of sympathized with me at that time, and it just made me feel really nice in the community.
Yeah.
That I had a community that wanted to support me and they wanted to like push to hear me stream and like sing and whatever. So
Yeah,
that
and
was
I
really
think,
nice.
and I think that's something that is an extension of just being a Summoners War streamer. There's more to the streamer, and that's fun.
Definitely.
Maybe we need to do a collab stream with music.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Dan
You can play
We're
the
all
guitar
guitarists.
though, okay?
We're all
I'll sing.
guitarists.
All guitars.
I'll
We'll do some sing. Yeah. Yeah.
I
We'll
won't
work
sing
that
that
up.
'cause I'm dreadful.
Yeah, we'll do
You
something.
can,
I
you can
don't-
play the beat in the back, right?
and
Yeah.
Vane can play the piano or something. Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm going to close this out. I want to say thank you very, very much. Firstly, to Rooster for being here as co-host. Appreciate you as ever. And of course, to wonderful Valley. You're a gem in the community. I know you're going to go on and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Everyone go follow everything of hers. Twitch.tv/Valliebear, at Valliebear's Instagram. Get on a Discord. And on that note, we're out. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank